Alright, welcome back to another Star Wars video. This time we're showcasing the beautiful difference between Battlefront 2 and classic Battlefront 2. As you can see just from the main menu of the original Battlefront, this, it fucking, you only have a handful of options you can pick. And then with the new Battlefront, you have multiplayer, you have the co-op missions, you have the campaign, you have an arcade, the instant action. It still has the instant action and shit, but now you have like better galactic assaults and fucking it is such a beautiful game. Both are really beautiful games, and this isn't no hate towards either one. This is just to showcase both of them in their beauty, right? Like in this one, in the original Battlefront 2, they just you like your troopers. You only have a handful of people you can pick, which include like the fucking a little bit of the warriors, the jet trooper, the commando. They all play differently, as you can see. Like like the guns feel different, like because it's been updated and shit, obviously. So, but this is just to highlight the beauty of both, right? Like, just look at this shit. The guns on this one feel like they shoot slower, but also faster, if that makes any sense. And like the guns still look beautiful as hell, and fucking it's just off with the controls, if that makes any sense, because like you can't aim unless like you click the what was it, R3, I think, like, and then it like zooms way the hell in and it feels weird. But at the same time, for what this game was back when it was out, it is so fucking beautiful. Like, it is a good fucking game. Like, I could play this damn thing 100 times over and not feel bad about it. But hell, as you can see, I'm just fucking people up, throwing grenades, fucking shooting them, just having a swell time with it, honestly, because that's what I really wanted to do, is just kind of showcase the game itself, right? And just fucking, excuse me, kitty. But yeah, once you go to Battlefront 2, like the new one, as you can tell, they have a significant like upgrade, right? Like the quality's a little bit better, the troopers look better, and then you have a handful more troopers, like the ARC trooper, you have the commando again, you have the jet trooper again, and then you can get like the speeders and shit, and then like the heroes, and it's just all around a really fun ass fucking time. But you still have the assault class, the recon, and all that, and the heavy. The only difference is, like, I think the heavy on this one is like machine guns and shit, and the heavy on theirs was like rocket launchers and shit, which is a fine difference. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But the assault kind of stayed the same, thermal and like a little bit of machine guns, like the assault rifles, I guess. And then like the recon, you still have a sniper rifle and shit. But fucking, as you can tell with this one though, like the quality's higher. Like, it's not as low definition as it was when it first came out years and years and years ago. Granted, I know they're both two separate games, but this is building off of what the first one was when they re-released it as what it was. And here is the original's Galactic Assault, and it is so weird. Like, I like it, but at the same time, I mean, it just isn't my really like cup of tea, because essentially you're just moving a ship around and hope that you win, and that's pretty much really it. But I mean, their Galactic Assault, for what it is, though, I mean, it's not that bad. I prefer the Battlefront 2 ones, where like you're pushing back the enemy and shit, or you're trying to take over their shit one. But for this, if for people who like turn-based shit, their Galactic Assault isn't too bad. But hell, fucking, here is their just like having at it, like their battles. Fucking, you get your little operators again, your soldiers and all that. This one on the rebels and shit. But when you spawn in with like a little shield. And like, I thought that little shield was cool up until you spawn in with the shield up until you leave. And then you can battle the heroes and shit and the villains. Like, there's Boba Fett, I'm trying to kill his ass. Fucking hit him with a grenade, he's running for his life. He knows he's gonna die. But yeah, this is just like their multiplayer modes, like what you would base the multiplayer game. So essentially, this is their multiplayer. And it pretty much plays like a battle royale. I mean, it's nothing really to it. I mean, it's just that. It's a battle royale. And hell, like, you can pick different operators and shit, and it's really fucking fun, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. You spawn in and shit, and you can switch up your operators. just like you can in Battlefront 2. That's why I love both of them. Like you can just switch up operators, whoever you want. Kind of like Call of Duty, you can switch your operators and shit. And fucking yeah, as you saw, I got launched. This game, you take damage. When you take it, you take it. Like you take it quickly. But the one thing I do love that I kind of wish the Battlefront 2, the current one, would have did is you saw every time I spawn in how the operators have a like it tells you what they have, like the assault rifle, the thermal grenades, and all that shit. I kind of wish it would do that in the new Battlefront 2. And like like you'll see the differences here in a minute, because like when you pick your operator on this one, it told you that he had a fucking the rocket launcher and the pistol or whatever and all that shit, and fucking like the grenades and all that, and it told you a little bit about him and shit. But like on the new one and shit, when y'all see it here in a minute, it fucking it doesn't do that. Like, I mean, yeah, if you have your cards equipped and shit, it'll tell you kind of what you have. But, like, hell, once you see it here, like, you'll see the key differences. And, like, this is why truthfully, I kind of wish when they did do Battlefront 2, like, I don't get me wrong, I'm glad how the way they did the new one. But at the same time, I kind of wish they would have incorporated some of the stuff from the old one. Like, if they'd have mixed them together, that would have been beautiful, Like, it would have been a even better game. Like, yeah, you see regeneration, recon drone, auto turret. It tells you what they have and shit. And then, like, when you're looking at these, right? I mean, like, you can see, like, this is like the current one. This is their battle and shit. And like, you got like it tells you got your grenades and all that. Your L1, your R1s, your L1 and R1 together, and then you can just roll around, go around, killing everything. Do the objectives however you see fit to play. You just play it. This is just me shooting droids and running around, just having fun with it, because it's Star Wars. I mean, I love Star Wars regardless. Old, new, doesn't matter. But, each one has their perks and each one has their downfalls and shit, And like with the current Battlefront 2, like you'll see it when we do the heroes and villains. They have such a better choice on the old one than they do in the new one, and that kind of makes me sad, because if they could have reincorporated some of the characters, like it would have been fucking awesome to see some of them get reincorporated. And fucking, but as you can see though, the shooting and shit, the way the fighting takes place now is a whole lot better, right? So this is just me. I just picked me a fucking jet trooper, and I'm just fucking floating around, flying around, beating the shit out of people, just for the hell of it, Like, as you can tell, the gameplay, the quality has improved, the shooting's improved, all that shit. I mean, it, for it to come out 20-something years later, almost, I mean, you would hope the quality did improve, and it did. It is a massive, like, in terms of, like, gameplay quality, it looks better. Like, it runs better, it's smoother than the original one and shit, but at the same time, the original also has better, like, design choices. Not really design, well, I guess it technically would be design choices, but like the like, the option to for them to include the descriptions, like just small shit like that, to me is what makes games awesome as hell, because they didn't have to include that shit. They could have just told you that was the trooper, just like they do in this one, and left it at that, and then you can just you find out what the fuck you're running when you run it. But fucking, the old one actually incorporated it, which I fucking love so much that they did that. And fucking, both games though are absolutely incredible. And like, thankfully they brought back the heroes and villains in the new one, and this is the heroes of the old one. And look at this shit, it's so fucking disappointing with the new one. Like, you have Han, Chewbacca, and then it tells you all their little shit like rage and shit, and then you have Obi-Wan, you have Luke, and they each have like their own little lightsaber and their saber throws and pulls and shit because they're Jedis or whatever. And fucking, you have Yoda, you have Mace Windu, which would have been fucking cool to play with him. Then you have Leia, and fucking you have Ala Sakura, and like, see, this disappoints me, because in the new one they could have put fucking Ahsoka without a doubt. But you have Kiamundi, then you have Kit Fisto. And this is just like some of the heroes you can play. This is like the heroes you can play with. And in the current one, Like, not to shit on the current one or nothing. It kind of does suck that you only get like a handful. You know, like you get Luke, Yoda, Obi-Wan, and it sucks that they made Anakin a hero instead of a villain like he was in this one. But fucking, you know, you get like Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca. You know, a couple of them do repeat, but you know, in the new one, you got some new characters as well, like Rey, BB-8, and you know, shit like that. The droids and shit. Like, you could be down Finn, and you know, in terms of prequels and shit, though, it did kind of keep some of the people, but you know, it sucks. Cat in the new one, you know, the current Battlefront, they took off fucking Mace Windu. They took out the Kit Fisto, the Kiamundi, Lara Sakura, all that, and that's what kind of fucking sucks. Because in the new one, they definitely either fucking when they released it, they released it with the characters they did, and that's cool. But down the line, they could have added like Ahsoka. Like, you know, you can get them in the modded Battlefront. I mean, I don't have the modded one yet. I do want to get it eventually though, because some of that shit be cool as hell looking. Like playing as Darth Revan and all that shit, it's awesome as hell. But fucking, you know, I do love both games though. Like I ain't shitting on either one of them. But I do wish in the current Battlefront they would have added some more of these characters in, because that would have been so cool to play as fucking Kit Fisto. And the fact that they've added him once means they could have added him again, you know? And fucking, instead of just making it like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda as the fucking little prequel heroes and shit. Yeah, actually, it's what? Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and who else? Who else is the damn hero for the damn... I can't even remember. Like in the prequel, yeah, let's see here. No, I think it's just Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. And Chewbacca. Chewbacca I think is also the other one. But yeah, you see the differences here? Like, you know, they brought Luke back. I mean, granted, they look a whole lot better in the new one. Don't get me wrong on that. They look absolutely incredible. But I wish they would have brought more characters back, you know? Or added different characters or newer characters, you know? Like, they could have added Ahsoka. They could have added the damn Mandalorian, you know, eventually. It's like, they could have just did them as small updates, you know? Like, where all they gotta do is just fucking add them into the game. Like, you see that little blank square up under Rey? They easily could have added more fucking characters, without a doubt. And the fact that they didn't kind of does suck, because I would have loved to have a higher quality version of this with a bunch of fucking characters and shit. Like, you know, but here's Luke, and like, you know, I do like how they did the characters in the new one. Like, they actually updated their powers and shit to where, like, not everyone has the same shit. You know, fucking, like, Luke doesn't throw his lightsaber or nothing like that. He just fucking force smashes the ground and pushes you and shit. Like he used to, and he does, like, a little fucking spin and rotate kick kind of thing. Which is cool as shit. And that is the one thing I am glad they did differently, was actually update and upgrade the fucking people. So, like Palpatine, you know, he shoots his lightning and shit, but now he doesn't have a lightsaber, which is cool, because they amplified his lightning and gave him different, like, attacks with lightning and shit. And that's one of the reasons I like Luke right here, fucking, because they, instead of just fucking the Jedis being force push and pull, or like lightsaber throw, they actually gave him some shit. And like Leia got the biggest upgrade of all. You know, she still has her grenades and shit, but now she has like 3 thermal fucking grenades you can toss, and fucking they do some hella good damage if you hit them. And fucking, you know, she has her pistol, and she can also do the blaster, which is fucking awesome. Like, I'm so glad they actually, like, incorporated shit like that. Like, you know, they took the time to, like, upgrade the characters. And that the only complaint I would have in this game is that I wish they would have had more heroes and villains. And that's it, really. Like, I wish they would have added some more heroes and villains. Like, even if it would just be, like, small updates here and there. Like, you know, add people from, like, add the Inquisitors from, the Fallen Order and shit like that. Like, you know, small shit like that would have been cool as fuck. Like, you know, they wouldn't have to add a million characters. But of both games, you know, for it to release when it did, it was a beautiful game, the old one. And when this one released, don't get me wrong, I still play this one. Like, this one, this is one of my favorite Star Wars games there is. But that is my only complaint of it, is I wish they would have added more heroes and villains. Because, you know, if you've ever looked at the modded one, like, I played it like twice. but like I don't like own it or nothing. But the modded one is fucking awesome. You can get Ahsoka, fucking the Mandalorian. You can get all sort of fucking characters, people who should have been in the game. You know, it'll be skins and shit, and you're still using like their abilities and shit. But like the skins look amazing. Like you have like a torn suit of Darth Vader. You can get like different little skins, fucking the evil Anakin eyes, all that shit. You know, like just small shit like that is cool as fuck. And like that is the only downside that I do wish they would have incorporated more like character skins and characters. But other than that, this game, both games are fucking amazing. Like this game, dude, I can play this shit all fucking day. I'm not fucking mad at I. Like it's some of it's fast paced, some of it's slow paced. You can fucking switch it up, be snipers, assault rifles. You can be the heroes, all that shit. Like I do love shit like that. And fucking, I think of both games, you know, they're both beautiful and they're both fucking, they were made the way they were made, and they are so fucking perfect, like, in the time frames they were made. Because when I was younger, I played the hell out of Battlefront and Battlefront 2 when they first came out, and fucking, it was phenomenal. And I've loved Star Wars since I was, like, a small child, and fucking, that's why I love it so much. See, here's the villains. Right now, they got some fucking cool people. They got Asajj Ventress, right? Like she would have been cool to see as a villain on back, you know, to reincorporate. But they got Count Dooku with his lightning. They got Anakin. See, I kind of wish they would have made Anakin a villain in the new one, or at least have evil Anakin and good Anakin. But you have Darth Sidious, you have the Grievous, you have Darth Maul, Jango Fett, Darth Vader, and Boba Fett. So you know you have like pretty much the same lineup almost. Like they pretty much incorporated the same characters and shit, which that's fine. But in the new one, they could have threw in some fucking Inquisitors. You see what I'm saying? Like that would have been some cool ass shit to fucking see. But yeah, here's Darth Vader. I had to pick my boy Darth Vader first. I'm fucking up Han Solo. And here's the swinging and shit, and like that is the only thing I didn't like about the first one though, was you have to like switch in between the Force choke and the Force like the lightsaber throw. Like you have to switch in between the two of them, and that with the new one, I am glad they did it like that, where they you can see all your shit, like you have L1, R1 and shit, because having to switch in between the two is just annoying as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But Count Dooku still has his lightning and shit, which is cool. So like they incorporated a bunch of the shit back into the new game, which I love that they did that. Fucking, but hell, like Asajj Ventress though would have been cool as shit to fucking be able to play. Like some more characters with double lightsabers, like how she holds them and shit, would have been absolutely incredible. Fucking, and Boba Fett can still use his jetpack and shit, which is awesome as hell. And I got Walt right there, so it's all good. I was just playing this one just to showcase some of the people and shit. But fucking, I liked this Palpatine more, if I'm gonna be honest with you, because he has a lightsaber. Like he can force choke, which I wish they would have incorporated that shit into the new one. Like being able to choke and then hit you with lightning would have been badass as hell. But the current Palpatine I think is just like lightning, and then like a fucking barrage of lightning, and then like a lightning bolt or some shit. And fucking like the old Palpatine though was dope as fuck. Like he can fucking choke you, shock you, and then beat the shit out of you with the lightsaber. Like I kind of wish they would have brought this Palpatine back into the new games, because this Palpatine would have been the coolest shit possible. Like I would have been playing the fuck out of Palpatine. And yeah, as you saw, I got jumped by like 3 fucking heroes. But but yeah, like they pretty much cut the same lineup for the villains, which I'm fine with. And then hell, Darth Vader, Darth Maul had the lightsaber throw, and he could do the force push. So I'm kind of glad they gave him force choke instead of push, because Darth Maul doesn't need no damn force push. He needs force choke, Force choke, well, they kind of gave him force choke and push in a way, because, like, in the new one, he fucking chokes you, then fucking bounces you off and shit, which instead of just choking you like Darth Vader does, which is cool as shit. And, they, with the villains here, they did add a little bit more. It sucks they didn't bring back Asajj Ventress, but, they did bring back Boba, Darth, Grievous, Sidious, and Dooku, and Maul, which is cool. And they added BB-9E and Kylo Ren, and they added Captain Phasma and Bossk. which, you know, they could have added a Science Adventures bat, which would have been cool as hell. Hell, there's plenty of like bounty hunters and shit they could have added. You know, like that is the only downside to the new one that is the only complaint I have, really, is that I really do wish, it's not really a complaint, you know, more or less, like I just wish they would have added more, like more cosmetics maybe, or more characters, like more characters from the Star Wars universe would have been nice as hell. And yeah, my dumb ass fucking fell right the hell off the cliff. But yeah, like, you know, like in terms of gameplay though, this one does play a whole lot more better. Like this one, you know, it, like the abilities are better, the all-round fighting is better, and I love the heroes and villains in this one a whole lot more than I do the other one. I love both of them, honestly. And like both are really good ass games. I can play both for hours and not be bored. Like that's maybe it's just because I love Star Wars, but you know, like it's just beautiful games. You know, like it's Star Wars. It's like fucking, it's just amazing. And like when it first came out the first time, man, it was such a good fucking game. Like it was a game no one really expected it to come out like that, and it did. It came out. It was good as shit. Like it was a good fucking game. And fucking like me and my friend, me and him played it on split screen and multiplayer all the time, and it was a beautiful fucking game. And like it, like when I was a kid, it looked about like this. Like when I was a young, you know, like to me, games back then looked like this. So like I was seeing it like this the first time I played it, and it was amazing. And then, you know, when I revisited, like, you know, how you just seen it, as you could tell, it's not the same high definition quality, but when I was a kid and I first played this, that's how I seen it, was the high definition. So I saw it like this, and fucking this one, when this one came out, man, this was just as beautiful. And I was like, damn, like these are some beautiful ass fucking, like this is a beautiful ass game. Hell, you know, Dooku, they gave him the fucking instead of it just being fucking lightning and shit, you know, like it was, they kind of gave him the same abilities more or less. Except now he could do like that little fucking blocking bullshit and the fucking his little ability shit, fucking where he does like, you know, just puts it to his nose and puts it down and shit. Fucking, and then lightning, he you know, he can't constantly spam the lightning like he could, which is cool. I love the fact that his lightning has to cool down, and that's not his weapon. Is that he, you know, he got his lightsaber. They focus more on the lightsaber combat than his lightning, and I love that so much. You know, I'm glad they gave him lightning too, though, because, you know, it's Count Dooku. He needs his lightning. And fucking, I do really wish they would have put in a little bit more characters. That is the only real complaint, like the only real wish I have. So if they ever make a Battlefront 3, I hope to God they add in newer characters. You know, like I want to see all these characters return. I want to see some of the old characters return, like the Science Adventures and shit. That would be cool as hell. Hell, I want to see them throw in the Inquisitors, Cal Kestis, you know, shit like that. Like characters from the newer games and just all-around people like that. Like Ezra, they can throw in Ezra. They can throw in Kanan. They can throw in damn Starkiller. You know, even if he's not canon anymore, fuck it. I mean, just throw him in there because it's cool as shit to have him. You know, like he was a badass motherfucker. Like throw him back in this shit too, you know. If fucking, so if they ever do make a third one, that is my wish and hope that they just make this shit with so many characters that it's not even funny. Like it could be the exact same maps from this game, and like all they do is just fucking add 100 fucking characters, and I will buy it. I'd buy it and play the fuck out of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. They don't even got to change the gameplay style or nothing. Just add 100 characters, and I'll buy it in a heartbeat. Like, if, like my hope for it would be if they take, like they do, like the quality of this one and the gameplay of this one, but with like the character roster of Lego Star Wars. You know, like the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga. If they did it like that, and you know, you had all sort of Jedis and you had all sort of like, they would be able to get so many people from the prequels, so many people from the original trilogy, and then the 3 new movies and shit. Like you'd have like Darth Vader. They could put Tarkin, if anything, you make him some type of fucking officer rebel thing, you know, like not rebel, But like an Empire, but you see what I'm saying? They could put so many fucking characters and give them so many different abilities and shit. Like you know, in the original trilogy, they could have did if you really count him and shit, you could do Cal Kestis. You know, he was a rebel kind of because he went against the Inquisitors. Hell, you could add the Inquisitors. You could add Darth Maul as a person because he was around during that time because he lived and shit up until Obi-Wan killed him. Hell, you could add Ahsoka. You could add Sabine. You could add all the rebels like Hera, Kanan, fucking damn, I just remembered his name, but I can't remember it. Zeb. You could add him. Hell, they could do some type of gameplay with like R2 and shit since they added you know, BB-8 and shit. Like you can give R2 little jetpacks and let him fucking burn people. But fucking that would be the only thing I wish they would do is just like add more skins, add more characters, more powers. And it could be this exact same game, just new characters. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I am gonna lie to you. But fucking, I do love how they did upgrade some of the characters. That like Darth Maul here, he's just fucking them up. And yeah, I hope y'all have enjoyed the differences between two beautiful Star Wars games. Y'all be safe and y'all have fun, and I will see y'all on the next one. See you then.